Welcome back to another episode of Realty Talk. I am the unpaid intern. My payment is experience, and my bonuses are the free alcohol that Joplin gets me. Welcome back to our host.
And I'm your host, Anthony Joplin.
What a great boss we got going on. Who doesn't love having free alcohol this freaking early in the morning? Cheers. Well, I guess it's past noon now, so it's not even that bad. And he has to have a sip right next to the microphone. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an episode of Realty Talk.
It's true.
Because we have to sip right in your ear, apparently. All right. Today, we're going to be talking investment properties. Because I would imagine a big goal for a lot of people is to make income without working for it.
Yep.
Wouldn't we all like to have that dream?
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the ways that people can do that is investing in real estate. Doing the work, getting to that point in time, sitting back on your haunches and being like, it'll make money on its own. That's the dream. That would be the hope of the dream out of your property, unless you do property management. And then you're going to have to be a little bit more involved. But anyway, these questions are going to be focusing specifically on investment property. Mm-hmm. And feel free to add any specifics that you want. I know nothing about this. You hired the right girl to do this. So forgive my ignorance if I happen to reference a property ladder that doesn't exist. All right. Question number 1. Do we always need 20% down in cash reserves for an investment property?
No. So you can have different loan products for different types of investment property. Mm-hmm. Single family or, 2 to 4 units, is different from commercial. If you want to do multifamily versus, different types of industrial or whatever that is, right? So the loan is what's going to restrict you for getting the property, not the deal itself. Number 1. So number 2, you don't have to have 20% down, but if you can grab somebody that does have some cash, you co-invest with them, you equity partner, you syndicate, whatever you want to do, you could still do it that way. So you can invest in real estate having little money, 10, 15, 20 grand. It's still enough to get you in the door for sure.
Oh, okay. So someone who may not even have that first home that they want.
You don't even have to own a home.
Yeah, you can go straight into investment property
remember,
while you're renting somewhere else.
We're talking specifically investment. We're not talking about owning and living in there. We're talking about using your money instead of putting it in the stock market.
Yeah.
Our opportunity cost or our alternative investment is going to be real estate.
Yeah.
Do you want to make high-low potential, the casino that is the market of Wall Street, or do you want to put it into some real estate?
Yeah.
That's the decision you got to make.
That's fair. What is the least amount that you would need down, do you think? Is percentage a thing, or is it just amount?
Well, that kind of goes back to what I was just said. So if you want to have, say it's a 2 to 4 unit and you've got 5% down, but you want to live in it, right?
Yeah.
There's a special product for that. You got a 5% down. Say it's 4 units. Say it's $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Right? What is that? That's 15, 30, 45. That's 60 grand. Mm-hmm. I think. Math me. I think it's 60 grand is the 5% down payment, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can have $60,000 that you want to put up, you can use the other income from the other units to buy it and live in it, right?
Right.
That's one investment idea. If you want to buy, multi-units or something else in 5+, but you got 10 grand and you got a friend that's got 50 grand, you got another friend that's got 20 grand. You put all that money together, you can buy something as low as, if it's a commercial deal, a lot of those are 20, 30% down.
Okay.
Right? If you want to buy the 1 to 4, there's a lot of flexible options where you could go together, right?
Nice.
Non-owner occupied co-borrowers. You could do, depends on the loan product, but you could get into real estate investing as low as 5-10 grand.
That is really good to know. All right. This is probably, I'd imagine this is going to be a long-winded explanation or answer. How much capital should be saved for unexpected problems or vacancies?
That's a super good question. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. That's a super good question.
Props to Cody. Yeah. Snaps and claps for Cody.
I'm not going to lie. That's a super good question. So if you're looking at, let's use one sample deal, and we'll just keep referring back to the sample deal, right?
Okay.
Let's call it 10 units multifamily. Easy to understand, right? Mm-hmm. If you've got 10 units on the multifamily and they're each at, $1,000 a piece, you got $10,000 worth of income each month, right? You want to be able to account for really account for loss, right? So vacancy versus expense ratio.
Yeah.
The vacancy should be, if you want to really be conservative, should be 90% occupied or 10% vacancy, right? Most go 95.5, which is 95% occupied, or 95% of what your gross potential could be.
Okay.
Cool? So that's vacancy-wise.
Yeah.
If it's small, like 10 units, you're thinking one of the 10 is not going to rent. If you're thinking 100 units, you're thinking 5.
Yeah.
The more units, the more diversified the risk.
Right.
Vacancy, number 1.
Yeah.
Loss reserves, number 2. Expense ratio and loss reserves. I'm going to separate those two. As far as your expense ratio, a lot of deals you'll see are, they'll boast, they'll say, hey, I got $10,000 a month in gross income. I only pay $1,500 a month in expenses. That's a 15% expense ratio.
Yeah.
That is wild. That's wrong. It's incorrect.
Oh gosh.
It's incorrect. You should always conservatively have between 30 up to 50% of that gross income should be set aside for expenses.
And that's a huge jump.
It's a huge jump because it affects your bottom, what's called the net operating income.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not accounting for washing machine money or whatever the other, various incomes on the top line. I'm just using simple top line, simple expense ratio, and then your net operating. So if they're boasting, oh, I only spend $1,500 in hard costs, a month, whatever it is, that you can use as a metric, but you want to reserve, you want to have that in your mindset. Well, I need to buy the property assuming it's going to be 30%.
Right.
30% is really kind of that rule plus.
So where did this difference come from? Because if people are saying 15%, but you're stating 30 to 50.
It could be actual. 15% could be actual because what they did is they whittled all the expenses down to make it look good to sell it.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're taking all the expenses, whittling them down to the lowest they can to get this beefed up to sell it. Because how you value those properties are off of the net operating income, which is gross minus expenses equals your net.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Dang.
But to get to the reserves, 6 months.
6 months. Okay. Yeah. That is a good, solid answer. Good job, Cody.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Asking the hard-hitting questions. Should we create an LLC and start adding in cash? So when we buy the property, it's under the LLC and not personal names.
Okay, you can store cash however you want, but if you're going to purchase property for an investment vehicle, right, you need to, number 1, consult a tax professional.
Okay.
I, as a real estate broker, cannot provide you tax advice.
Good job. Good plug.
Boom.
Legally saving ourselves here.
There it is. But if I was going to personally just talk to everybody, I would say, number 1, consult a tax person, your CPA or whatever, and say, hey, what's my best route? Because it could be the LLC is nice for one thing.
Yeah.
It could be you have a trust for another, revocable, irrevocable, generation skipping, something along those lines. So if you want to protect yourself and protect your assets, an LLC is good, but there's a corporate veil that's pierceable.
Yeah.
Trust is a lot harder to pierce.
Yes.
It depends on what you want to do for generational wealth and what your end goal should be. So tax professional, that bad boy.
Yeah. Tax professional, that bad bitch. Should I be investing money into the stock while I build capital so I'm making money year over year until I can afford to use my stocks as collateral to start my investing into properties?
That's a great question. So taking the money that you have, shove it into the stock market, and then turn around and take the stock market rates of return and then invest that into real estate.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
But that's what he's saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What I would say is your money that you save can be invested. Now, what you have to think about is you have the stock market is a marketplace for your investment.
Yes.
So is the real estate market. You can invest in the real estate market through the stock market as well, through a function of REITs. That's Real Estate Investment Trust is what a REIT stands for. So you can invest in that via that syndicated conglomerate.
Yeah.
Or what you could do is you could invest in your individual stocks, make rates of return. But again, those are risky. You have to weigh the pros and cons of risk versus reward.
Right.
Everything is a risk versus reward in investing, right?
Yes.
So you decide what is best for you and your strategy.
But you believe in investing in real estate.
It's an actual tangible asset.
That is very true.
I can go see it.
That's also true. I like looking at things.
Versus, now I'm going to say that real estate investing in a deal versus real estate investing as a REIT. The REIT will take your money, chop it up, and put it in multiple deals.
Yeah.
Like you get a piece of 5 deals or 10 deals. Versus you dump your money into a one person or one fund in real estate. That could be one deal.
Yeah.
So then the thing is that what's your risk versus 5 deals going under versus one deal going under? And does that one deal have multiple units?
Yeah.
See how there's levels of risk.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, we're learning lots here. What is the best strategy to invest in different states that are more landlord friendly? Should I just bring Cody onto the show next time?
That would be so fun. I'm telling you, those are like hard hitting, good, in-depth questions. If you're looking to invest in out-of-state properties, I would find a few different people. There's key pieces of people that you need to get a fund together to go buy that fucker.
Yeah.
Here's a good example. I'm going to use a deal that I missed out on. I'm so fucking pissed. I missed out on a deal. It was in Tennessee. It was in Knoxville.
This one is real, though.
This one is legit.
This is actually real in Tennessee.
This is a legit deal I missed out on.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. I wanted it so bad I'm going to throw up. So it was 32 units. It was in Knoxville. I called the broker. It was like at $3.5 million was the price, right? I backed into the numbers and all that. And what I needed to have the team.
Yeah.
For me, I saw the deal. I did the numbers. I loved the deal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you take 32 units and raise the rent $200, you make $1 million.
Shut up right now.
No, I'm so fucking serious. If you take 32 units times $200.
Kill me with that math.
Times 12.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you divide it, I think it's a 6 cap or whatever it is. You add that value to your property.
Yeah.
I think at a 6 cap, it makes you $1 million worth of equity.
I hate and love that at the same time.
Yeah.
Math is fun.
So I was jonesing because I saw that arbitrage go because I know it's going to be at least worth 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I want to buy it, but I didn't have a team. So the people that I needed, number one, I needed the broker. She listed the property broker, number one, okay? Because she's the source of the deal. Number two, once you find the deal, then you can find the money.
Yeah.
Turn around, I found the money for that deal. That down payment, I was going to need 35% on that money to make the investment safe.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
So from there, just under $1 million, would have been great. Moving from there, I would need title escrow, simple, easy. Then I would need the most important of all that is the property manager.
Yes. In a different state, absolutely.
Right. So, number one, do I have the broker or the person facilitating the transaction? Do I have the money? Do I have the title escrow, which are very simple. You can tie those together and make one.
Okay.
Right? So those are 3. And then 4, who's going to manage it? Who's going to run the property? Who's going to take the phone calls at 2 a.m.?
Yep. If
you can find that team of people, there's some auxiliaries, right? But I'm getting the hard hitters right now.
Right.
If you can find those 4 people, if you will, 5 people, if you separate title and escrow, you will have a complete transaction.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you looking to find all these people under one roof?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Title and escrow are separate.
Yep.
Usually. If they're in Tennessee, the title company handles everything. There is no escrow.
Okay.
And they use attorneys. So states are different, right?
Yep.
So title company handles that. That's one. The broker was really sharp. She totally understood the deal. I found the money. Somebody else offered on that property. And what I didn't find was the property manager. They had the existing property manager, but I thought they were very small. Yeah. And I would bring in a larger conglomerate to replace them.
Yep.
32 units is a lot to handle.
It is.
In any capacity. And what I don't have from them is a lot of errors and omissions, a lot of the liability issues that I can see. And at the end of the day, I need to keep this fucker rented. So the marketing budget and all that has to come into play too.
Right.
So those are the big 5 players.
I will say this, when we had our place in El Cajon, I loved our property manager.
That's the best.
That guy was on top of everything.
Perfect.
And he was just a cool dude. Yeah, like
one guy.
It was one guy.
Was his name Brad Wilson?
Nope, Ty.
Unbelievable.
But because when Nate and I were living there together, the tree in the front yard fell down.
Oh, that's right.
And it fell right in between our cars. So my car was in the driveway, his was in the dirt, and it fell square diagonally in the middle.
The whole tree fell?
The whole tree fell.
That was a big fucking tree.
It was a big fucking tree. And it was one of those that I woke up because the kitchen window
that was off
looked
Pepper
out.
Drive?
Jackson Hill.
Oh my God, I knew it was close.
Yeah, so it was like a little circle in the front. It was packed down by sand. It wasn't like this whole big thing.
Right.
But yeah, we had a big storm one night, and I woke up in the morning and I'm like fixing myself my coffee at the window, and I look up and the tree's just down, and I'm like, one, didn't hear a sound. Two, thank God.
Yeah.
Because to be that 45-degree angle to not hit either of our cars, a blessing.
A blessing.
Incredible. But then, yeah, Ty came out and chopped it up that day.
No, he did it himself.
Yeah, he came with the chainsaw, and Nate was out there, was like, hey, if you need help, I got the truck, I got another chainsaw if you need help. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll plant another tree in a second. Dude was on top of it.
I'm going to need that guy's phone number.
I don't have it.
Super special plug for Ty.
Yeah, super special plug for Ty.
Man.
I'll maybe we ask Nate.
No problem.
I don't even know what we used.
I can guarantee.
I thought you had hooked me up with that rental. I can't remember now.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long
I think I did, but it was with the seller, the owner's direct.
Probably. That sounds right.
Yeah, and then they have just a property guy.
But yeah, anyway, Ty, spot on. You did your best, buddy.
You're my guy.
All right. Is there anything I should be doing on my side besides getting more capital to invest?
Okay. Yeah. Couple things. Goes back to the team. Build your team of people. If you've got other capital that exists, not just your capital, you've got friends with capital, build those trusts. Get those people in. Because remember, it's find the deal and then get the capital. If you've got capital ready from other sources and you're like, man, I'm going to throw mine with you, you can build as much as you want. But until you see the deal, now you know what the attainable is, then you go find some more capital.
Okay. So you have mentioned a few times already. I feel like I have to. There we go.
You're
now
good.
I'm crisp and clear. Thank you. I needed that today in this nice power suit. You've mentioned a few times, speaking in terms of having a group of people to invest with.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people say, and you have been one of the people to say this, it's hard to invest with friends or family.
Mm-hmm.
How is it any better investing with friends and family?
If you've got friends and family, you have their trust.
Yes.
But you got to know the deal. You got to underwrite the deal. You got to make sure that you are taking care of their money.
Yeah.
And if you have money with their money, it puts you in a position where you're scared for your money enough to take care of their money. You got to be careful when you just borrow other people's money that you're not frivolously spending their money because you want a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So friends and family are good to pull from.
Yes.
They are the hardest to appease because they're the ones who will call you at 2 a.m.
Oof.
The other side is if you have acquaintances or other people that you meet that want to invest in real estate with you, those are people are more respectful of your time, but they won't give you as much money and they demand the rate of return. And that's where litigation happens, with third parties. So double-edged sword.
Yeah. There's pros and cons for each.
Double-edged sword.
Do you have any experience investing with other people?
I invest with my partner, right? So me and my partner invest in stuff. I would never put my money with family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that just a rule of thumb for you specifically, or you just think it's too risky to lose relationships over something arbitrary?
I'm a control guy.
Gotcha.
So if I control the deal, it's a different story. But if I'm giving them money for something, that money's never going to come back.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's fun.
It happens.
All right. Should we always aim for the 1% rule, or what would be an ideal ROI?
Let me talk about the fucking 1% rule. Listen to me very
Okay, this
carefully.
is it. I'm saying this right now. Put my stamp of approval on it. Cody's coming next week.
Cody's coming on. I am telling you right fucking now, if you ever find a deal that follows the 1% rule, you call me and I will do the deal with you. No questions asked.
Wow.
Let me explain.
No questions asked.
Now, That's a Himium reference.
I just watched that episode too. You owe me.
You owe me.
No questions
no
asked.
questions asked. No questions asked. I will buy that property with you, period. Let me explain what the 1% rule is.
Thank you, because I'm lost.
Okay. It's...
I'm just reading off what he sent me. That is the extent of my knowledge.
I love this. If the purchase price, take the purchase price.
Yes.
I'm going to use $100,000 purchase price.
Love it.
Okay.
Easy money.
Easy money.
And math.
If 1% of $100,000 is $1,000.
Yes.
Everybody agree with math?
Yes.
Mental math on that one, huh?
100%.
If I find that I have a property that's cash flowing per month, gross, not net, gross, $1,000 a month, and I can buy it for $100,000, that is a no fucking brainer.
Wow.
That's a golden child. That means $10,000 a month in income is $1 million property.
Yeah.
Go one more time.
Yeah.
If I have $100 million property and I cash flow $1 million a month,
I would love that.
that's a Goldilocks. That's a Goldilocks zone. That's where Earth is in relationship to the solar system.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So safe to say it doesn't happen a whole lot.
I've only seen it twice.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 11 and a half years.
Nice. Twice. Is it in the area that you saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking to one person right now.
Oh, to get one for yourself?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
Knock on some shit, would you? Stupid. Yeah. Yep, it's good. I can't even talk about it. I'm so excited. It's a 1%er.
Wow.
It makes $8,000 a month, and it's $800,000 purchase.
Damn.
It's so fucking sexy.
So yeah, I need to get
nervous.
my husband involved in this conversation, because I would love to have all of those very expensive problems.
Because that is a huge rate of return.
Yeah.
Think of net cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking really good net cash flow. I mean, it's very exciting.
I mean, anyone making, net cash flow. So let's just call it like 65 for being super liberal with it.
You're still making $8,000 on a. So let's use the same rule, right? So let's do $800,000 at $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you have a 35% capital or expense ratio.
Yeah.
You're still making at least a 7.5 cap, 8 cap.
Yeah.
Round numbers in my head.
Yep.
8% cash on cash.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else in investment properties that you just have to get off your chest? Any misconceptions that we need to put to bed?
It's not hard to get into the market. It's hard to transact if you don't know what you're doing. And a lot of people who will do the Grant Cardone listening, they'll do the courses, they'll want to get involved. More power to you. Get hooked up with a broker who's got, multifamily or whatever asset class you want to get into. Get with somebody who's in that space and have them talk to you about deals.
Okay.
So the first step is call a bunch of brokers.
Okay.
And say, I want to invest, help me. And you're going to get the door slammed in your face by brokers.
Why?
Because they don't want to deal with you.
But why?
You're new. You don't fucking know.
Oh, because it's your first investment baby?
Welcome to commercial real estate. There's a lot of people who won't give you the shot.
Interesting.
Call a lot of brokers, find out the deals, and just say, hey, put me on your list.
I feel like this is a classic case of, to get your first credit card, you have to have credit.
It's the same fucking deal.
Yep.
Same deal. Call a bunch of brokers, say, I'm an investor, put me on your list. Mm-hmm. If you can do that and you can just look at deals, practice underwriting, practice doing that. Mm-hmm. And then when you see deals that are close to the 1% rule, now you're underwriting.
Yeah.
That's where you get dangerous.
Yeah.
And then you bring those deals to a team like me and my team or whatever, shameless plug, so we can work with you. And if you want to do it in San Diego or otherwise, we're cross country, we can do it with you. But at the end of the day, my wife hates when I say that. You will make money because you sourced the deal. Okay.
So if someone came to you as a broker, you're a broker now, they come to you, it's their first investment property. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for so that if you're going to accept or deny?
Do they have a deal?
What if they're just looking?
Well, do they have a deal?
What do you mean?
Do they have
like,
a
is
deal?
it closed?
No. Did they identify a property? Let's say that.
Oh, okay. So they're coming to you. I have this. I found it. It's my baby.
Hey, I got this. What do you think about this?
Gotcha.
Oh, no.
And we're back.
And we're back. So do they have a deal?
Okay.
Remember the 5, going through the 5?
Yes.
Do they have a deal?
Yeah.
Number 2, do they have the money to close that deal?
Uh-huh.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm the broker. They found me.
Yeah.
Do they have a deal or do you want me to find a deal for them?
So does it come down to that a lot of brokers slamming doors in people's faces has to come down to the fact that they weren't prepared when they started the conversation?
Right.
Okay.
That's totally right. So do they have a deal? Yes or no? Doesn't matter. Number 2, if they do have a deal, do they have the financing for it? Is it them or do they have to go fundraise it?
Right.
Number 3, do they have the players in place? Number 4, is there management?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If they have no to all those questions, it would be very hard for me to bring them in because it would be a lot of hand-holding, a lot of time, a lot of effort. And if they don't have number 2, which is a shitload of money, it's not worth my time.
Okay. Interesting.
But I'm saying that in a respect to most brokers, right?
Yeah.
If you find deals, you're underwriting deals, you're wanting to learn. I like teaching. I came from a teaching kind of background in coaching. Mm-hmm. So I like to just talk about it. So if you just want to talk about deals, you want to find deals, you want to underwrite deals, that'd be fun. I like doing that. It's fun for me. So
nice.
Call me.
Yay. All right. Well, that is good. And it sounds like at the end of the day, I just need to have my husband come and ask questions so that he can ask follow-up questions that are better than mine. Because what?
Me and my boy.
All right. Well, that was a good, I think that was like investment property 101.
I think so. Good start.
Maybe we got into 201 a little bit, but
just a smidge.
This is a little smidge. But yeah, thanks. That was very informative. Probably blog worthy. Maybe I'll put it into a blog. Maybe I'll write some wordy words down.
Donna, thanks for having me on Investment in Realty Talk by Fun.
You know what? I'm taking over. It's me now. I'm the host.
Donna, thanks for having me on Realty Talk with Anthony.
You know
Joplin.
what? In this power suit, I own this bitch.
That's a fair assessment.
I came.
Phrasing.
I slayed. Wait, what? I was leading up to like I came. I know, and then you ruined it. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Great ending. And cut.